1 week ago, the headliners in Athletes Unlimited took a major step into a new season. No nerves for Charlotte North, the rookie with rocket launching capabilities at her fingertips. Lauren Gilbert enjoyed the spotlight. Her blinding speed has fans wondering what she'll do for an encore. The stage is all yours, so take a bow with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Pumped up for another great event in Sparks, Maryland. This is Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Today from USA Lacrosse headquarters, a new work week brings new teams as the squad led by Team Apuzzo takes to the turf to meet Team Amanda Johansen. It is so nice to see you again, along with Courtney Martinez-Connor, a five-time national champion at Maryland. I'm Joe Beninati. New teams, Court, new work week. These players are all trying to get acclimated to each other as quickly as possible. What is most critical for gaining chemistry right away?
You want to gain chemistry, number one, on the field with your style of play from one person to the next. And when they play against one another, they get to know the nuances of those potential teammates, but they do work together off the field, whether it's games or having fun.
Court, I want you to help weigh in on this. This is the big picture for Athletes Unlimited. We have 56 players, hopeful of being the individual champion. The teams are shuffled every Monday, and the scoring method is unique.
That's right. Everything has a point value. If you score a goal, that's plus 12. If you make a save, that's plus 6. But then mistakes matter as well. Those are negative value. So you just want to make sure you're as consistent as possible.
Let's set up the first of our two games this evening. Last summer, we only saw a healthy Amanda Johansen for 3 weeks. And yes, she was solid. But last weekend, she was terrific.
Amanda Johansen, she did what she does best, which is running both sides of the field. She is a force on the offensive end, using her speed, her quickness, but then she also loves to use her height. She oftentimes outweighs some of those defensive players, is able to dip and dunk up and over them. So she is a force. Look at her coming from the draw control. She's highlighted right there. She used her height, that one-handed, the extra grab and reach, and then she transitioned nicely to Cage.
She is number 2 on the leaderboard. Rangy, dynamic, a powerful shot. She's definitely going to be a factor as we move forward. Shifting gears now, let's focus our attention on a mainstay in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Apuzzo packages all the qualities of a leader and potentially a future champion.
That's right. Team Apuzzo, when you talk about her, you talk about her leadership capabilities, but it's also her willingness just to kind of get her team into that win. They oftentimes are relying on her, not just at the draw control, but scoring goals, assisting. We see her highlighted from behind the goal cage. That's where she's most deadly. If you give her space, she is certainly going to exploit you on the defensive end.
Team Apuzzo, her team was ruthless last week, and this week's squad may be even stronger. She's number 3 on the leaderboard and potentially moving up very, very soon. That's Team Apuzzo. From time to time, we love hearing the players and chatting with the goalies. Britt Reed does the honors in this one. Going into the game, Britt, you're used to being a captain. After a couple days of practice, what do you think about the team Amanda put together?
Oh, I love the team Amanda put together. She's such a smart player, smart captain. I trust everything she's done, and I'm excited to play today.
Britt, we appreciate it. We'll be checking in with you from time to time. Thanks very much. Britt Reed in goal for Team Johansen in the orange. Team Apuzzo in the blue. The officials today, Lynn Bowers, Julie Wakis, Patty Kletcher-Porter, Kim Kramer, and Margaret Kondracki will be teaming up throughout the day. We're off and running with Team Apuzzo getting the first offensive possession. If you're new to Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, we play 10-on-10, 6-on-6 at the offensive end. There is a 60-second shot clock. Charlotte North gets the initial chance. They're dancing at the 8-meter key. Score from beyond that key. 2 points for your team, 16 points for yourself. Mastriani off the split. That bounce shot goes over top, and it's chased down and backed up. It'll stay in possession of Team Apuzzo with Sam Geyersbach. Geyersbach rolling inside. Pressure comes, challenged quickly there by Grace Griffin. Shot clock's at 13. North tied for the goal-scoring lead after 1 week. As anticipated with her brilliant shooting abilities. She forced it inside there. Apuzzo down in a heap and slow to get back up. Sam Apuzzo remains down on her knees inside the 8-meter key. The officials allowing play to continue. Off the unsettled situation, North comes back up with it. Team Apuzzo gets another offensive whack.
As Sam Apuzzo's heading off the field, looking for a sump to come in and take her place. Athletes Unlimited, you look at the level of play, everyone is faster, stronger, fitter, and there's just 6-on-6 inside of the restraining line, so there's a lot more space to work with offensively.
O'Donnell lets it fly. Score! Katie O'Donnell.
Katie O'Donnell, a midfielder for Team Apuzzo. She's often doing the work between the 30s. But when you look at this right here.
Ooh, that did not look good, the way the leg was buckling beneath Sam Apuzzo. Then moments later.
Amazing that Sam was able to get herself composed as well as her team. Sam Geyer's back with the assist. We see her being a dual threat. You need to look like you're initiating to goal in order to get all eyes on you, and Katie O'Donnell with the strong cut right there and finish.
O'Donnell, who had tallies in 2 of the first 3 games last weekend, picks up her 3rd on the season. The athletic trainers are provided by MedStar Health here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. They continue to tend to the fallen Apuzzo, who's flexing her leg beneath the tent on the sideline. Ground ball, draw control, possession comes up for Katrina Geiger. Geiger, number 9 on the leaderboard to start the week. Players pick up points for individual stats, for winning collectively as a team per quarter and per game, and through post-game MVP voting. It all adds up at the end of 4 weekends to us crowning one champion in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Haley Warden looking back behind the cage. She'll hang up Mastriani. Sneaks to the inside, force feeding there for Gilbert. That's down. Warden comes back up with it. Rolling, it came out of her cross. Right to the waiting defender for Team Apuzzo. Sprinting the other way, that's Kelsey Huff. Huff, who was the provider of high drama last weekend when she scored a game-tying 2-point goal with less than 5 seconds to go in regulation.
Beautiful defense by Team Apuzzo. You saw them working together, shifting, making contact all over the hands defensively. That's so important to not give any good angles or looks to the cage to any of the attackers in orange.
Charlotte North working in. Caroline Wakefield gets the defensive assignment in the orange for Team Johansen against the reigning 2-time Tewaaraton Award winner. Charlotte has it in her cross again. Playing a 2-person game with O'Donnell, who has the opening goal. Off the split dodge, feed it inside. O'Donnell just snapped it wide. Backed up by Ostholmen. Alex looks to sneak. That was kicked out by Reed. Another chance for Ostholmen. Score! Alex Ostholmen.
There was a lot of action right there in that offensive set for Team Apuzzo. They had a few great looks at the goal cage. Balls with Alex Ostholmen around right now. A nice save by Britt Reed, and she was able to follow up on that shot. Defensively, it's something you don't want to give up. Whenever there's a ground ball inside of that critical scoring area, you want to make sure you get it out cleanly, not giving any second or third opportunities for the offense. Proves to be 3rd time's the charm for Team Apuzzo.
She has Mira Shane dancing on the sideline. That's always a good sign for Mira and her mates. Alex Ostholmen, Court, when we spoke with her prior to the season, she told us that she trained more in the offseason for speed over short bursts. Right there, it was quickness around the cage that she converted for a 2-0 advantage. Shots on Story to this point, shots taken. All Apuzzo, the first 5 of the game.
You know, when you look at Alex Ostholmen, the fact that her husband is a professional athlete as well, I think they practice a few things in their backyard.
Husband Marcus, the PLL All-Star Game MVP, all he did was have 7 points in that game. Perella brings it in off the end line, teaming up with Haley Warden, a national champion during her collegiate days at James Madison. Kayla Wood keeping tabs on Johansen, the captain for her team in orange. Gilbert, the flashy rookie, gets inside, scores! Lauren Gilbert wasting no time to get on the board.
Lauren Gilbert, number 3 in the orange jersey, putting Team Johansen up with their first marker. We see that the slide first happened with Amanda Johansen, the captain's draw to goal. As she challenged hard, defenses sliding and moving. As soon as Lauren Gilbert caught the ball, I love her ability, lightning speed to cage, that oftentimes that she is able to run through those defensive sticks. As we see her run through the sticks, she keeps her momentum moving forward, which is most important. That's actually how she scored a bunch of her goals in week 1.
Huge goal-scoring talent, Lauren Gilbert. All she did in one game against Rutgers in her college career was go for 8 goals in one game. Now 8 goals as a pro, and this her 4th game in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Season 2 for this league. Season 3 of Athletes Unlimited Softball gets underway tomorrow. We wish everyone well in Rosemont, Illinois. This ball comes back towards the midline. Should be an over and back here, and it should be possession for Team Apuzzo. The officials did not blow the whistle. Ella Simpkins, though, will take it with just over 5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. It's a 2-1 advantage. Team Apuzzo in blue, goals from O'Donnell and Ostholman. Team Johansen in the orange with a strike from Lauren Gilbert. Back behind the cage, Charlotte North with her defender hung up. Wakefield there in an uncomfortable spot. Sam Apuzzo is back on with a support on her left knee. A snapshot there from Huff. That's a routine save for Britt Reed. Reed has a couple in the contest today. She had 30, a league-leading 30 stops 1 weekend ago. Every goalie save, Court, is worth +6 on the individual ledger. And these are 2 goalies who rack up saves quite a bit in Britt Reed and Katie Glynn at this end of the field. Off the split dodge from left to right, Warden gets to the elbow. Force there, lobs it over the top to Perella. Perella was one of the leading goal scorers 1 summer ago. Looped it to the inside, that's picked off and taken to safety by Kerrigan Miller. She's crunched, and there's a foul. Just a little bit less than 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. There's Amanda Johansen. This time last year, she was on the injured list. We'll explain more on the other side of the break. Team Johansen undercover. Temperatures in the low 90s. Team Apuzzo has a 2-1 advantage in the early going with a little less than 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. If you win the quarter in Athletes Unlimited, everybody on your roster gets 20 points. Folks, Saturday we have Premier Lacrosse League action, PLL play, featuring the Archers and Atlas. 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on ESPN and ESPN Plus from the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. Be fun to watch Marcus Holman, Will Manny, and Tom Schreiber leading the way for the Archers. Jeff Teat scoring extremely well for Atlas. Courtney, as we look at some notes from the draft, which occurred on Monday, you can see the draft every Monday on YouTube. Marie McCool, the #1 overall selection.
Not surprised there. So many players within Athletes Unlimited slated her as a potential to win the entire season. So she is a definitive pick for any time there's a draft. Kaylee Waters, she was a mainstay last year as well as this year, especially with not all goalkeepers being captains in week 2.
In Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, the facilitator is a helper, an advisor. She's a support staff. Think like assistant GM. Last year at this time, Amanda Johansen was a facilitator. For Amanda, it was a Team USA injury that opened up another door.
I was really lucky to be a facilitator. When I got injured, I was like, ooh, what's gonna happen with this? But luckily enough, I was able to still come into the bubble, be a facilitator, and then when I was healed, transition to a player. Being a facilitator, it was great. I loved it. You know, opportunity to see the game and learn the game and just kind of figure it out how it works before actually stepping on the field. And although that was great and kind of, you know, learning more and growing and figuring out everyone's style, I was so eager to get on the field. So by the time I became a player, I just want to take advantage of every opportunity and really enjoy it.
Amanda definitely looked healthy last weekend. She was outstanding. Former star at the University of Southern California with the Women of Troy, 2 times a captain there, and a captain this week. Our opener, Team Johansen against Team Apuzzo. Team Apuzzo in blue. The nightcap, Team Dempsey Arsenault against Team Taylor Marino. The goalie, the #1 on the leaderboard in the gold jersey for week 2. North loves that sky whammy fake. She feeds for Apuzzo on the hitch. Fires off the crossbar. Apuzzo rings the iron. Sam Apuzzo, after being nicked in the first 3-4 minutes of the game, still out there hustling on the ride and the redefend. As Team Johansen, it's a turnover over the head of Caroline Wakefield. 5 turnovers in the first 7 minutes. Costly for those in orange.
And that's certainly uncharacteristic. When you see these players stick-wise, they have the ability to catch balls one-handed, just like we saw Haley Warden do. The sun becoming a little bit of a factor right now for many of them with these high balls.
My gosh, back-to-back turnovers, and it's possession for Team Johansen, trailing by 1. A little bit less than 3 minutes with which to work. Amanda Johansen kicks it down low. Isolating back behind the cage, Sammy Jo Tracy, who celebrated a birthday earlier this week. Warden outside the 8-meter key on the flip for Grace Griffin, who played collegiately at Maryland. Johansen tiptoes towards the 8-meter key. She had 2 two-pointers last weekend. Getting downhill quickly, that's Gilbert. 23 seconds on the shot clock right now. Turning the corner, Sammy Jo Tracy with a behind-the-back flick. It goes wide. On a shot closest to the ball, where and when it leaves the field, gets possession for Team Johansen. Warden will skip. Johansen works it down low. Griffin fires a sidewinder. Missed the target. 5 seconds to shoot. Sammy Jo has to act quickly. Then Gilbert trying to wrap one around. As the shot clock expires, this ball goes to Team Apuzzo.
We talk a lot about the points throughout Athletes Unlimited. The entire team in blue is going to get +2 for that last shot clock. They were able to hold them defensively. So the shot clock expiring, and on the flip side, the team in orange, every single player is going to have a -2. So everything having consequences on the field, both positive as well as negative.
Every moment matters. O'Donnell will play it, switch the point of attack, swing it out wide for Huff off the sweep. Lobs it into traffic. O'Donnell gets to the interior. Nice look there, and it's just snapped high by Kerrigan Miller. 20 seconds remain on the 60-second shot clock. Charlotte North brings it in off the end line. North on the rollback, question mark. She hit the post. The inside of the goal post, she had Reed cleanly beaten. End to end, back we go in transition. On the move, Katrina Geiger. Geiger looking for numbers. Gilbert inside, waltzing in, and she bounced it wide. Hustling to the end line, she'll keep it in favor of Team Johansen.
The ball being brought back to the point of exit from the field. Referees making sure there's no significant advantage for the offense bringing that ball in.
Final 25 seconds of the quarter. Whoever wins the quarter, whichever team, all 14 players on the roster would take 20 points. A shovel shot, score! Off the sneak, Nicole Levy has goals in 16 straight.
Nicole Levy, she is such an important part of the offensive team wherever she is at. 3 goals and 3 assists in her last outing with her previous team. And we see right here, she was almost hesitating for a minute, acting like she was gonna do a little hidden ball trick with Alyssa Perella. Decided to come up on that weak side of the goal cage. Ball was still in her dominant hand. And we see that nice little backhanded move. They weren't even quite ready for her. Thought she may have slowed things down a little bit, but Nicole Levy, so creative in and around the crease, crafty with her stick skills.
That last angle we showed, just a sliver of space for her to score. Nicole Levy doing the trick. 12 seconds left, right back at you. Snapshot there, gunned high by Ali Mastriani. 2-2. If the quarter ends tied, these 20 points carry over to the second. Mastriani says, no. Let's take that for Team Apuzzo.
That's a tough one for Team Johansen. They had just tied things up with the first quarter almost winding down. And with the ball being brought in right from out of bounds, that little relaxing Amanda Johansen, who was right on ball, hesitating for a second, so her attacker got a step on her. Ali Mastriani using her speed, her deception on that cut, putting her team up. Team Apuzzo by 1 with less than 2 to go. Now, we've seen goals happen with 6 seconds, but 1.8, too difficult.
Not likely. Ali Mastriani, more than likely, just won 20 points for everybody dressed in blue with that late marker, and it's now official. Having won the quarter, Team Apuzzo gets 20 points for all the individuals on the roster. We are done with 10 minutes of play. The ultra-reliable Ali Mastriani getting the congratulations on the sideline. Goals in 3 of her 4 games this year. Grateful for any breeze at all here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. We're coming back with quarter number 2 in just a few moments. It's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Team Apuzzo with a late, and I mean late, first quarter goal from Ali Mastriani, a 3-2 advantage after 10 minutes. 20 points banked for everybody wearing blue in the game tonight with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. Folks, we want you to check out our next WNBA game on ESPN and the app. Brianna Stewart leading the Storm against Elena Deladon and the Mystics. Seattle second in the West, Washington third in the East. It'll be coming your way Saturday, noon Eastern, and 9 a.m. Pacific. We love bringing you sounds and sights from the game. Charlotte North, kind enough to wear a microphone for us tonight. Let's go into the game with Air National Guard.
Hi, Sam! See you around! Talking to that Sam. She's leaving. Oh. She thinks she gets so annoyed with my shit. No. I meant like, are they like sport gummy bears? Reset! Yeah! Let's go! Way to get that back! Let's go. Good job, way to get that. KO, great job!
Whole lot of personality there from Charlotte North, and she's having a lot of fun in her first 2 weekends as a pro.
That's right. Giving direction to your teammates, as well as just cheering them on, having fun, that's all part of the game. When you feed off of one another, you tend to play better as well.
As Charlotte jogs to the sideline, you see her there with Amber McKenzie's children, Storm and Bolt. It seems like Amber McKenzie has found a very, very talented babysitter.
A talented babysitter who her kids love. They call Charlotte North their best friend, and they're actually going to be rooting for Charlotte as opposed to their mom.
I don't know about that. Come on now.
That's what they said.
Well, that is what happens with a mega star like Charlotte North, wearing a 88 in blue this weekend on Team Apuzzo. A 3-2 leader as we get going in the second. Joe and Courtney with you. Charlotte North bluffing an outside shot. Wakefield digs in defensively. Caroline is not intimidated. Inside move there. Mastriani just sent it off the outside of the goal, threatening for her second on the day.
She was wide open on that challenge. It was like the Red Sea parted. So many eyes were on Charlotte North. It created that big space for Ali Mastriani, who was just wide.
Charlotte comes back to her left. Britt Reed took the angle away. We saw that all throughout the World Championships, didn't we? Britt Reed for Team England, stepping way out off of her line. She plays a high arc in cage.
And oftentimes it just throws off the attack. They're used to goalkeepers sitting back, giving themselves more time to react to the ball, but not Britt Reed.
Mastriani inside again, just missing the target. Britt Reed was all-world in that tournament, named to the all-world team. Shot clock in Athletes Unlimited, 60 seconds. It's down to 18. Geyer's back against Geiger. Huff, circle it to Mastriani. And then O'Donnell, who started the scoring today. Apuzzo working around the corner. Mastriani drawing 2 defenders. Shot clock's at 2. Last chance, Geyer's back didn't get it away, and back comes Team Johansen. Geiger has been running a lot in this first half. She's got a 4-on-3 fast break. Gilbert's neck, fires and scores! Gilbert with her second of the day.
Excellent job by Katrina Geiger. Defensively, look at that pressure she had on the hands of Sam Geyer's back, and then she showcased her speed. She was actually an attacker in college, so she knows what it takes to cause a turnover from the defensive end. And then we saw in that nice little 4-on-3, her dishing the ball out to Lauren Gilbert. As soon as Lauren catches the ball, she's already lining up, her hips are turning, so she's able to use a lot of power and release on that fast break situation. So that was a nice ball movement situation. Find that open player, be ready to shoot. And they have put another one on the marker, tying things up in this game 1 of today.
Gilbert leads the league in goals with 9. You get 12 points individually every time you score inside the 8-meter key. Outside of it, 2 points for your team, 16 points for yourself. Johansen, who was excellent in draw controls last weekend, ball down, didn't come up for her. It belongs to Team Apuzzo. The pass for the captain, that misfires. And once again, another ground ball, 2 more points for Katrina Geiger. Geiger, who assisted on the last goal, had an assist last season. You don't often see the defenders racking up points, but that's a +4 for Katrina Geiger with her assists. Nearing the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Levy playing a 2-person game with Warden. Shot Story, team in blue, doubling up Johansen 14-7 to this point. Katie Glynn didn't get that one in her cross. Backed up well by Izzy McMahon. She turns the corner, and that's swatted away by Katie Glynn. Glynn's initial stop of the contest worth 6 points. That'll help her standing on the Geico leaderboard. You're about to see that left side of your screen. Remember, all of the totals from last week, it's cumulative. We don't wipe the slate clean. We just continue to add on. Sam Apuzzo finding herself 3rd overall. The overall leaderboard led by Taylor Marino, goalie, who'll be wearing gold tonight, set a single weekend record with those 581 points last weekend. Look away pass, Huff fires, snuffed out there at the end of the line by Britt Reed.
I love to see how the leaderboard begins to change in week 2, despite some players wearing the same color jersey. Every single player last week.
Unsettled steal, takeaway, Apuzzo right on in, great trail check. Wonderful hustle by Perella, she didn't give up. This pass for Wakefield to the sideline, McMahon kept it alive. More hustle on display. You get that sideline angle as play resumes.
As we look at that leaderboard again, everybody in orange jerseys last week earning a lot of points for their wins, but look at this tremendous hustle right there. Perella with that check in transition. She rode to the very end. Excellent job, and essentially she stopped a goal from being scored by Team Apuzzo.
Perella sweeps in and fires. Glynn read it all the way at her knees. Katie Glynn locked in goal for Team Apuzzo. Makes her second stop and then finds Kayla Wood for the clear. Wood angles her way through midfield. Remember, a season ago, she had the highest single week. Put over 500 points on the board in week 1. Enjoyed her time as a captain in Athletes Unlimited. At the end of the weekend, when all 6 games are concluded, Thursday night, Saturday, Sunday doubleheaders, on Monday, there'll be a player draft conducted by the captains. Off the question mark there, Apuzzo stashes one up top. Sam Apuzzo has scored in every goal of her Athletes Unlimited lacrosse career. As dependable as you will find, dynamic around the cage. The ability to stop on a dime and ping a corner. It's all on display for you. We get you back right after these words. Nice crowd on hand this Thursday night for Game 7 of 24 this season with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Team Apuzzo has the 1-point lead over Team Johansen as we are more than halfway home in the second quarter. Folks, the Athletes Unlimited Club provides great benefits, including voting on league decisions. You can interact with the players. There are signed items available and much more. For a limited time, you can join as an MVP level member. You'll also receive an exclusive Unlimited Club lacrosse t-shirt. For more information or to join today, go to auprosports.com. Merchandise on sale here on site. Sam Apuzzo, always among the leaders with her incredible talents on the sideline, resting with her squad, getting some shade. If you talk to Sam, she'll tell you that you need everyone to move up on the leaderboard. Apuzzo going to the cage in the final seconds. She beats the buzzer.
You don't win or you don't have success without everyone. So like, no matter what point you've earned, you didn't earn that without your teammate helping you out, whether it's a ground ball or to get you to score or getting the draw to get an assist. Everything is relied on one another. So I think that part, people don't see it as much because a leaderboard is a leaderboard, but you don't get up high on the leaderboard without the people behind you.
Courtney, I was listening to the Quintessential Lacrosse podcast. Quint had Sam on as a guest. Sam cried the day her dad brought her first lacrosse stick. She didn't want to play. She's turned out to be okay with those lacrosse sticks later on in life.
She has certainly become a mainstay in the women's lacrosse world. If we look at Sam's last goal right here, if you look at her behind the goal cage, I'm going to highlight her right there. As she challenges, you're going to see her maneuver and do what's a nice little question mark move right there. That jump and turn is that added little bonus points, kind of signature Sam Apuzzo. You love to watch her do that. But all those young players out there, you carry up one side, switch hands, turn the other way. That's why I drew up a little question mark. That's what it looks like, and she executed it perfectly.
She's chumming it up there with her Team USA teammate Becca Block. They're on opposite sides in this game. Team Apuzzo in blue, Team Johansen in the orange. Closing in, Gilbert fires! That's snagged by Glenn. Her third stop back in transition for Kayla Wood. Wood, who scored a goal against Team O'Donnell last year. She's not afraid to take it to the cooker if need be.
You know, a lot of times defenses don't honor an opposing defender coming in. Kayla Wood is able to score. Ella Simpkins, Becca Block showed it last year. Many players, if they just challenge hard to cage, oftentimes they can draw a slide or waltz in without anybody crashing on them.
Mastriani two-person game with Apuzzo and back behind for Charlotte North. North one-on-one with Wakefield as she has been for most of the game. Wakefield makes the good intercept. There's the caused turnover and ground ball. 14 total points in that one exchange for Caroline Wakefield.
Good, solid, tough defense. Caroline Wakefield, she sits low. She moves her feet. She makes sure to be in front of that offensive player, taking away any potential lane to goal. And I love how she had the ability to get her hands on probably one of the best, if not the best player in the entire world.
Levy outside the 8-meter key with a bit more than 3 minutes with which to work in the opening half. Warden chased by Kerrigan Miller. Haley Warden turns, fires, stabbing that, straightening up to make the save is Katie Glenn. Time for a chair chat field level with Sam Geyersbach of Team Apuzzo. Sam, are you still pinching yourself that you're getting a chance to play with one of your idols in Sam Apuzzo?
Oh yeah, I mean it's a throwback for sure. I mean I grew up with Sam since we can remember really, so it's really a privilege honestly to get out here and play again with her. Been waiting at least 7 years for it, so whether, I mean, age difference or not really much of one there, but definitely my idol for sure.
Sam, talk us through, you went from being an MVP in the NCAAs to obviously competing in the second season of Athletes Unlimited. What's that like?
It's pretty unreal. It's a dream come true from, playing at UNC, whether getting on the field or not. That experience in itself was pretty unbelievable. And then to play in the Final Four was a dream come true. National championship, and now to say that I'm a professional athlete here with the best players in the world, it's something that little girl dreams of. So I'm really grateful, and I'm super pumped to be here.
Sam, last thought from you as we watch Lauren Gilbert go to goal. Katie Glynn's made 4 saves in this quarter. How tough is she to beat?
She's really tough to beat. She's the coach at Richmond right now. That's my alma mater, one of them at least. I spent 5 years there, so I respect her a ton. She's a real hard goaltender to go against. So I'm lucky to have her on my team and not playing against her this week.
Sam, thanks very much. Go Spiders.
Thank you. Yeah, go Durs.
Simpkins fires on the run. She scores. Ella Simpkins pumps one upstairs.
Ella Simpkins, we had just talked about her not being shy to go to goal. And she showed us right then a caused turnover, an interception by Team Apuzzo in transition right here off of the little behind the back from Nicole Levy. She was able to take off, showcase her speed, and again, if they are not honoring her, she is heading right to cage. Her college coach last year said, if it's wide open, you're a midi. It's what you played in high school, you know what to do. And we see her captain right there, Sam Apuzzo, cheering, excited for everyone to get on the board.
Ella spoke so highly recently of former Athletes Unlimited lacrosse player Michelle Tumalo, with whom she worked at Army. She said, I've been warming up 6 goalies at Army. My shots dialed in pretty good. Well, she wasn't lying, as you saw right there. A couple of goals just over 3 minutes apart. Team Apuzzo has the 2-point advantage. Remember, the quarter points are on the line. You can tell bottom of the screen, 20 points for every athlete on the winning side. Right now, it's 2-1 favor Apuzzo in this second frame. Team Apuzzo won the opening quarter, 3 points to 2. Amanda Johansen is the captain for her side. Leaves it back behind the goal for Izzy McMahon. Super competitive attacker. Gilbert will sweep. Ran right into Lizzie Colson. Freight train down. The ground ball comes up for Sydney Pareca. Give her 2 points for the scoop. The pass, a little bit too tall for Colson. They fight for it. Wakefield there with North. It's goosed on to Charlotte with 1 minute to go in this second quarter. Ball down, still on the ground, and it comes up. Geiger has been a ground ball magnet in the first 20 minutes tonight. Long stride, she takes it inside. Gilbert fires, snapped it a little too high. Backed up on the end line by McMahon. Shot clock is turned off with 38 seconds to go. A one-pointer from Johansen would tie the quarter score. Gilbert feeds. Warden maneuvers in with Amanda, who is a threat from behind the 8-meter key. Snap that pass inside. That shovel shot didn't get through. We're down to 18 seconds left. Huff with a burst out of her own zone. Huff working in. This is a 5-on-3 break if she pushes it. North, one more. Ostholmen, kick save by Britt Reed. Britt Reed thwarting that fast break. She's got 4 saves in the game. Ostholmen snaps one into the interior. That's snapped out of the air, and we are done, Courtney, with an exciting opening 20 minutes.
That's right, a lot of back and forth play, pushing transition, defensively, some tough markers inside. Not a lot of feeds are open, but the 1v1 play is how they are capitalizing and scoring goals.
Done with 20 minutes. We're off to our halftime festivities here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Stick around. We'll be chatting with Olivia Albrecht. She's the Chief Sustainability Officer with Aspiration. All that's coming up. Plenty of highlights, too. 5-3 Apuzzo at the break. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, originating from USA Lacrosse headquarters, the home of the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame. all the tradition and pageantry of this great game, the stars and stripes, the red, white, and blue of the USA national team program, men's and women's, as we honor and pay tribute to the creators' game. The sport of lacrosse, such an outstanding venue here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. We are in Game 7 of 24 this season, Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. 5-3 for Team Apuzzo. Fans, time to earn points for watching. If you are an Unlimited Club member, enter the code that's on your screen right now into your Athletes Unlimited app. You'll earn points. You'll move up the leaderboard. To get that app, you download it today for free at your app store and get access to great Athletes Unlimited content and experiences all season long. I see some ice cream on screen. That is needed post-haste in the booth. Back with more in a moment. Last 2 goals of quarter number 2 belonging to Team Apuzzo, breaking what was a 3-3 deadlock. Apuzzo on the board, and Ella Simpkins, the defender on the run, also brought the fans out of their seats here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. We're done with 20 minutes of play. Team Apuzzo has swept all 40 points. Highlights soon to come. Sam Apuzzo, a captain last week. Sam Apuzzo, a captain this week. She's won both quarters today. She's won the last 11 quarters her teams has played in. Off to an outstanding start once again on the lead at the half. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. Court's a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Court, you and I are both fond of outstanding defensive play. I know the goal scorers get so much credit all the time. Let's give some love to Katrina Geiger. I thought she was outstanding in the first half.
Absolutely. She oftentimes started their offense by creating turnovers, being on the hands, and pushing the fast break for her team.
All right, so that's enough on D, right? Let's get to the goal scorers. The people with all the glory starting the scoring. It's Katie O'Donnell.
Katie O'Donnell timed her cut just right, as we see her highlighted right here. Sam Geyer's back. Her eyes were up. She saw that Katie O'Donnell had the lane in front of her. Excellent vision and job getting the ball into her hands. And then we have Katrina Geiger. We just talked about her pushing the fast break for her team, creating numbers. It was a 4-on-3, and she got into the ever-capable hands of Lauren Gilbert.
Way to go, Katrina. Nice job, D. Shots.
Defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships. And we see the numbers split up through the opening 20 minutes of play, with Team Apuzzo on the lead and heavily favored in terms of the shot story. The turnovers, both teams were mistake-prone, Courtney, in the opening 20.
That's right. When you have a lot of turnovers, just you give more opportunities to the other team, and we saw Team Apuzzo having second and third opportunities offensively due to the mistakes of Team Apuzzo.
Britt Reed preparing for the third quarter resumption of play. Britt is wearing a microphone for us tonight. She can take us into the game.
Let's go, D. Do it again, D. If you stand against the sideline and if I drop it into space here, you could just run on and go instead of trying to pin it on your stick.
Oh, no. I meant like she was playing her on the line. So I was like, oh, come around, boom. I feel like we're letting them hedge. Like they haven't committed to one double. So if we like get through and then force them to go, like it'll be wide open.
Right out of the back. Get the ball around with that extra.
Right into the eyes with Charlotte North there as she prepares for the third quarter to unfold. As you watch Katie Glynn warming prior to that. When I think of Charlotte North, Courtney, I think of the jaw-dropping offensive talents, and everybody tells me, including Sam Apuzzo, that she's one of the more humble players you're ever going to run into.
She's so unselfish, oftentimes moving the ball one more time. She likes to throw in big fakes. That oftentimes freezes the defense and or the goalies, which enables her to be able to get that extra pass in, but very unselfish play, just as you had mentioned, a true team player.
Katie Glynn got stronger and stronger as the game went along, especially in the second quarter. She practically had a handful of stops there as she chats with Mira Shane, her understudy this week. So many young lacrosse fans around the complex watching their heroes, having a chance to take some shots on the outdoor cages all around USA Lacrosse HQ. Thankfully for them, they're in the shade now as we approach the 6 o'clock hour in the Eastern time zone. Team Apuzzo making its way back to the turf. Folks, don't miss your chance to be here and see the excitement of Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse in person. You can do it with us in Sparks, Maryland. Tickets are available today at auprosports.com/tickets. 5-3 the count on the scoreboard. Charlotte North held off the sheet in the opening 20 minutes. Charlotte North, a highly decorated collegiate player. Sam Apuzzo and Charlotte North, the two to win the Tewaaraton, who play in Athletes Unlimited.
Both such dominant players for Boston College. They really helped put BC on the map. And the Tewaaraton Award given to one of the best players, the best player in all of women's college lacrosse, and Sam Apuzzo, and then Charlotte North earning that award twice back-to-back.
It's been my honor to host that Tewaaraton Award ceremony, I'd say about 10 years now, with she and Stanwyck Birch. Sam Apuzzo winning hers in 2018, North 2021 and 22. You saw that first of two for Charlotte. The ceremony was conducted during a halftime in Foxborough during a PLL halftime game. Charlotte North, ridiculous scoring numbers. I believe she's the only player in NCAA lacrosse history to have 3 different 90-plus, yes, I said 90-plus goal seasons. It is a remarkable shooting stroke. When she has the chance to uncork it, goalies beware.
The torque that she is able to get on her shot, she involves her entire body. Obviously her pocket a little bit different than most of the players, but nevertheless, to be incredibly accurate is difficult when you were firing that shot from outside of that 8-meter key.
Nice to have you along for the ride. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. A big shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for all their efforts day and night. It's the first of 2 games with you. Team Marino and Team Arsenal warming up. They'll play in the nightcap under the lights here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Kayla Wood going to goal. She has some room here. Wood will feed. Team Apuzzo in blue. Mastriani ripped it right on, and that's snared quickly by Britt Reed, who has 5 stops. 5 times 6 means 30 points for Britt in this, the first game of her weekend's play. We play Thursday nights, Saturday afternoons, and Sunday afternoon doubleheaders.
Excellent job by Britt Reed statistically, but ultimately your team winning quarters and then the overall game, 20 points per quarter, 45 for the game win, and then that other way to get points, MVP points, which Britt has done a great job at that as well.
Isolating here on the outside, the league's leading goal scorer to this point, Lauren Gilbert, 3 in the orange. For Team Amanda Johansen, Nicole Levy just hanging out behind the cage, 12 seconds to shoot. There's a 60-second shot clock in Athletes Unlimited. There's the 8-meter key, Gilbert approaching, gets inside and fires. A split save is made as we have a new keeper on for Team Apuzzo. That's Mira Shane, who played collegiately at the University of Michigan. O'Donnell will advance it. It gets away from Mastriani, chased down by Wakefield. North goes behind the back to Apuzzo. Beautiful passing there, just off the cross of Kelsey Huff. And Apuzzo now will slow the tempo.
The ability that Team Apuzzo has in quickly moving from their defensive end to the offensive end, they are oftentimes able to catch Team Johansen just not quite set and ready on the defensive end, giving them better opportunities to look at cage.
You see the shadows lengthening as Geyer's back works in against Geiger. Johansen digging in against O'Donnell. A little shovel for North, who thought about it from way outside. Lost it out of her cross. 5 seconds left in the shot clock. This is going to be a turnover back to Team Johansen.
No, I'm not quite sure who they're going to award that caused turnover to. A lot of defensive pressure by Caroline Wakefield. Ultimately, her team was able to come up with that ground ball, but that was a collective effort defensively.
Becca Block roaming in from the defensive end, 36 in the orange. Roam is an operative word with her as this snapshot goes wide. past Mira Shane. Team USA head coach Jenny Levy would say, you know what, we'll let Becca roam defensively. She recovers so well with her speed. Levy thought about the two, snaps it inside. Sammy Jo Tracy from down under with a little trickery. Sammy Jo trying to get adjusted quickly to her new teammates this week dressed in orange. Sammy Jo equated it to speed dating when she had a conversation with Quint Kesnick earlier in the week, trying to get used to your new mates as fast as possible.
Speed dating, I like that. You do. You have to get comfortable with everyone quickly, mesh, gel, and hopefully that translates into wins from quarter to quarter and then ultimately the end of each game.
O'Donnell, who scored against Apuzzo last week, now works with Apuzzo this week. Off the feed, Mastriani hovering at the top of the 8-meter key. Nearing the 4-minute mark, snapshot score! On the run, a beauty from Kelsey Huff.
Kelsey Huff, her ability to give separation, she engaged with the little split dodge here. So as soon as her teammate Ali Mastriani picked up that ground ball, she saw that space between her and the defensive player. If you have it, you need to take it. If nobody's on your hands, you need to immediately head towards goal, and that's what she did. She turned on the jets. Like her ability to quickly dodge and use that alley, her angle actually diminishes as she's heading to the right-hand side, but because her defense was not on her hands, that gave her the ability to really wind up and get a quality shot.
The angle diminishes too when Reed steps way out. I mean, literally, Britt was outside of her goal circle when Huff let that one fly. It's no secret in Athletes Unlimited lacrosse court, you need great two-way midfielders. And it is Kelsey Huff, who was a two-time Pac-12 midfielder of the year during her days at Southern Cal. Block comes up with a draw control, 2 points for her. In Athletes Unlimited lacrosse, you get individual stat points, you get points as a team for winning quarters and games, and you pick up points through MVP voting. It's been a long drought now for Team Johansen. Team Apuzzo has the last 3 points on the board. Team Johansen has gone cold better than 8 minutes. Until this from Perella, ball off of her cross, Mastriani turning and burning. And once again, setting sail, this is Lizzie Colson. Colson with a good cradle, bounces it there. That was easy pickings for Reed. She handled that one off the turf.
Lizzie Colson, she has the ability to play both offense and defense. Most of her time at Maryland was on the defensive end, but we got to see her offensive skills within World Championships on Team USA, scored a few goals.
Picked a couple of assists up last week. Court had helpers in 2 of 3 games. Nearing the midway mark, this is quarter 3. Team Apuzzo in blue with Mira Shane guarding the goal. Team Johansen in orange. McMahon gets topside against Wood. Johansen fires for 2! She scores! Amanda Johansen, throughout her time in Athletes Unlimited lacrosse, she has been one of the leaders in terms of 2-point goals. She just added to her career tallies there. She had 2 last weekend. Never shy to shoot it from long range. Amanda Johansen puts 2 on the board for her side. We'll get you back in just a moment. Those 2-point goals can change the score radically. All of a sudden, this is a 1-point game with Apuzzo in the driver's seat. Folks, on Saturday, a couple days' time, we have Premier Lacrosse League action. PLL game featuring the Archers and Atlas. Comes your way 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on ESPN and ESPN Plus. That'll be coming to you from the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas. We are here in Sparks, Maryland. Amanda Johansen has a whopping 8 goals already this season, just the second weekend of play. And Courtney, we just were witness to her third 2 of this summer alone.
That's right. She came in today's game with 2 2-pointers already. And we see right here, as Izzy McMahon is challenging to goal, the defensive player of Amanda Johansen sloughed off of her a little bit. That gave Amanda a better lane. As soon as that ball was kicked to her, she realized the space that she had in front of her and used that nice big power. Seemed like Mira Shane wasn't quite ready for that ball coming at her. And again, shooting through with power, with force, and her teammates excited that she has closed the gap to just 1.
Amanda Johansen making it a 6-5 contest. Breaking the huddle with her side. Team Johansen squares off with Team Arsenal, 1:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, a game you can see on ESPN+. Folks, just a reminder for every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Heading into this week, 590 have already been committed to for this season, so we thank Aspiration a whole bunch for their support. Officials soon to resume play here in the third with a little less than 5 minutes remaining in the frame. Izzy McMahon, who says her spirit animal would be a lioness. I think that's appropriate when you think about the way she plays and approaches the game with such ferocity. McMahon, who just recently picked up the assist on the 2 from Johansen, as the officials will award possession now to Team Johansen in orange, a chance for them to grab the lead.
After that last goal, that 2-pointer by Amanda Johansen, her team in orange, they have to feel some confidence maneuvering in. All you need is sometimes a little spark to generate offense, because lacrosse is a game of runs. And at this point, it's a tight game in the third quarter.
That 2-point goal ended almost a 9-minute drought for Team Johansen. Now they try to put points together back-to-back on the score sheet. Shade more than 4 minutes left in the third. Gilbert on the run with a howitzer upstairs. That shot is lethal.
Lauren Gilbert has tied things up for Team Johansen at this point. As we watch right here, highlighted, we have Lauren Gilbert. We're gonna see a pass being made all the way up to her, and then she's gonna create space. Let's roll it right here. As soon as she catches the ball, we see her take her defender to the left-hand side, and that nice little screen action is what gave her the ability to dodge to the right-hand side. And look at how far away her stick is from her body. She's really able to wind up. Again, no slides were coming from that side because the entire lane had been cleared for her. Lauren Gilbert, she each and every game has done a great job of getting to the goal, and this is her third one of Game 7 in Athletes Unlimited.
Look at you with your stretchy arrows there. Nice job. Third time we've been tied in this game. 3 points for Team Johansen in the last 50 seconds. 6-all with less than 4 to play in the third. Team Johansen in the orange has possession. Team Marino and Team Arsenal to follow tonight. Taylor Marino, the goalkeeper for the gold team. When we started play this weekend, she was atop the leaderboard. It's a cumulative running tally. We crown one individual champion. There are 56 first-class players in residence with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Season 2, a season ago, it was Taylor Cummings who led the squad overall and was crowned and entered into the Book of Unlimited as the inaugural champ. Switch it down low. Looking for Warden, guarded by Mastriani, 14 seconds to shoot. That was a tough catch inside for Levy, chased down by McMahon. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Levy thought about the 2, finds Gilbert, she lets it go, it's wide of Mira Shane, who hustles to the end line, and Mira earns that ball as she was sprinting there. So this season, that is 12 points for Mira on the change of possession after the missed shot.
Excellent job of running the ball out. That means you're aware of the situation around you, what's going on. Gaining another possession for your team, also important. But on the flip side, Team Johansen in the orange jerseys not backing up a shot, not what you want to do in giving away an easy possession offensively.
You're seeing the Geico leaderboard, left side of your screen. Charlotte North from deep. She scores! A 2-point bullet from Charlotte North.
We've talked a lot about Charlotte North, her ability to shoot from downtown, and this is one of those instances. Hard challenge by Ali Mastriani. Both defensive players hedged towards her just a bit. Charlotte North, as she took the defenders high, she had space. She's not going to shoot a power shot if anybody's right in front of her, but she is very deadly and accurate. And we see her coming off of almost the moving pick right there. Excellent job of seeing the lane that she has in front of her, getting her stick up and away. And we talk about that generational talent. This is why she has the ability to score big-time goals as she extended her team's lead to 2.
No, she's a game-changing shooter. Charlotte North had a couple of 2-pointers in her first game as a pro. That's a 2 to give Team Apuzzo the lead in blue by 2. At the draw circle, Mastriani tried to swat that one down to herself. Amanda Johansen's team has the lead in draw controls, although Mastriani ends that trend. Going to Cage. North thinking about it again. Bouncer answered by Reed. We could have an offside here. This could be a green card 32nd, and it is going to be player up for Team Johansen.
You know, as I think about it, I feel like this is the first card that we've seen of the game. As players get comfortable with Athletes Unlimited rules, we often see less and less.
An 8-6 advantage for Team Apuzzo with just over 2 minutes to go in the third. So the green card gives Team Johansen a player-up opportunity, 6-on-5 against Mira Shane. Mira's the co-chair of the Player Executive Committee along with Amber McKenzie. Athletes are the leaders and decision makers in Athletes Unlimited. Less than 2 minutes to go. There are 20 quarter points on the line for the team that wins the individual frame. 30 seconds to shoot, 100 in the quarter. Pass to the interior that's blocked. Levy on the reload. 20 seconds to shoot. Levy hovering outside the arc. Great catch there on the end line. That was hauled down by McMahon. Izzy jitterbugs at the 8-meter key. 8 seconds to pull the trigger. She fires. Shane goes to the splits to make the save. Mira loves to show off her flexibility in the goal circle. As O'Donnell propels back for Team Apuzzo in blue. 1 minute to go. With the gals in blue on top by 2. Last player on the board, Charlotte North, a 2-pointer, giving her side the lead. Charlotte's going to drift back behind the cage, take Wakefield with her. Switch it on up. Huff straight away. Off the sweep, the long bouncer. That's an easy stop there for Britt Reed. She saw it all the way, and the pace was deadened off the bounce. 8 saves now for Reed. 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Gilbert with her flashy speed helping on the clear. Then Haley Warden. Warden checks the time on the clock, finds McMahon. Hedging out there defensively at Simpkins. Johansen for 2 again. She snapped it high and wide. 6 seconds left on the end line. Good hustle from Sammy Jo Tracy. She brings the ball back in. Her pass is going to go over and back. It's a turnover at the end of quarter number 3. So when you look at it, the 2 points from Johansen, the 2 points from North cancel out. Everything was even in that third, so the fourth quarter will be worth 40. A lot on the line as we head down the stretch. Year 2 of the revolution, and part of being a champion in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse is being able to lead, assemble, and lead these unique teams. We are in the first game of 6 this weekend, game 7 of 24 in the season. Charlotte North getting congratulations for her late 2. It's 8-6 for Team Apuzzo. Folks, check out the WNBA on ESPN and the app. Our next WNBA game, Brianna Stewart leading the Storm against Elena Deladon and the Mystics. Seattle, second place in the West. Washington, third in the East. That action coming your way Saturday, noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor, and a host of young lacrosse fans here at USA Lacrosse headquarters, watching Izzy McMahon and Team Johansen tangle with the blue-clad Team Apuzzo. Ali Mastriani, her usual scoring threat self every time she has the ball. And she is terrific inside the draw circle. Courtney, why has she been so good for so long there?
You know, she just has the ability to get the ball to either herself or to those around the circle. So that quickness, knowing when and where to place the ball is so very important for any draw taker to master those skills.
Working against Haley Warden. Warden set draw control records at James Madison. It just seems like everybody in Athletes Unlimited has a specialty inside the draw circle. We have so many tip-top specialists, and this is a great head-to-head matchup. Although a violation off the draw to start the fourth quarter, we get rolling. Team Apuzzo in the blue. Lizzie Colson offers it down the flank. There is Sam Apuzzo. Sam, a guest of the Quintessential podcast earlier in the week, she told Quint that she would mimic, while she was an assistant coach at Boston College, Mastriani going to the goal here, she would mimic the likes of Jamie Ortega and Katie DeSimone for the scout team. She's a pretty good scout team performer. On the hop, working in, trying to help her Eagles against Ortega's then North Carolina Tar Heels, who won it all not far from here at Johns Hopkins in the NCAA tournament. Alex Holman is hovering back behind the goal. She has tallies in all 4 games this season, 34 in the blue. Shot clock's at 6. Moving in, Sydney Pareca, normally a defender. That was a tough catch for North, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. Turnover against Team Apuzzo.
Sam Apuzzo, when she would oftentimes play one of those opposing team's best offensive threats, she didn't sometimes leave the field with some battered bruises. She even had to have stitches at one point because the defense was tough on her, and that was leading into their quarterfinal matchup versus Loyola. So she made sure to be an offensive threat, but the defense for BC took it quite seriously as well.
Sam Apuzzo, the only holdover captain from week 1 to week 2. 3 others joined her at the draft table back on Monday night. As Sam was not able to draft her best friend, Dempsey Arsenault is one of the captains. We'll see her side against Team Taylor Marino in the nightcap this evening. You watch things shape up in front of Mira Shane, who came on for Katie Glynn. Mira in goal now, 33 in the blue. Gilbert, who has another hat trick. She began her Athletes Unlimited career with a 4-goal game. Johansen comes up with a ground ball scoop. Shot clock is at 15. Simpkins takes the turnover. Ella Simpkins lost it. Alyssa Perella will run for cover. A fresh 60 for Team Johansen.
With a lot of back and forth play, great defensive efforts, you do want to make sure to slow things down offensively. Get everyone in their right positions again. Make sure you have a good look at cage as opposed to forcing anything with that new shot clock being added.
Grace Griffin, who got a lot of Athletes Unlimited advice from Katie O'Donnell. She's working against Katie this time around tonight. Amanda Johansen hitching against O'Donnell. The feed there, unsuspecting, was Gilbert. And back comes Team Apuzzo. O'Donnell roaring in. This is a 5-on-3 as Wood joins her for the fast break. O'Donnell fires and scores! She caught Reed napping.
Katie O'Donnell in transition. Love her speed, her accuracy to shoot that ball on the run. No defensive player was coming at her. We look at this right here. Number 9 heading to goal. Numbers for Team Apuzzo, and her teammates were creating space. That's what you want to do. You want to make sure to get into a box, triangle, depending on upon how many players you have on the field. And they had numbers. Ultimately, we see Becca Block heading to Katie O'Donnell, but it was too little, too late. And Katie O'Donnell extending the lead to 3.
Fantastic player with the Penn State Nittany Lions during her collegiate days. First team All-American in Happy Valley was Katie O'Donnell. Back inside the draw circle for a moment. Who's going to get possession here? All of those are critical in the fourth. It's Colson who earns it. Then she airmails Apuzzo, though, with a pass. It's a turnover against Lizzie Colson. Those are very, very costly. When you turn it over, you lose 8 points from your individual tally. It's the 13th time that Team Apuzzo has made a turnover mistake. Resetting things for you, 9-6 for Team Apuzzo on the strength of the O'Donnell goal, her second of the contest. 6.5 left, plenty of time in regulation. We did see a game go to overtime last weekend, Court. Ellie Kennedy was made a winner of Team Britt Reed in purple last week. Warden hanging out against Wood. Fakes the flip. Ran into some congestion there. Shot clock's at 18. Perella on the sweep. Mastriani makes the takeaway, and then she's fouled.
Defensively, Ella Simpkins, Ali Mastriani on that little 2-man action. They did a great job of communicating, switching. That's what's very important on the defensive end of the field. You want to know where your teammates are going, if they need to slide and maneuver for you. Great job in causing that turnover.
We're approaching 6:30 in the east. Sun still has a couple hours before setting, or a little less than that, in fact. So for the first time today, the field is in shadow completely. Apuzzo, hesitation move, she scores! Sam Apuzzo stopping and starting.
Sam Apuzzo, the captain for her team. We saw her go down in the first quarter, and she has done nothing but be active as the game has gone on ever since she came back in. You look at the change of her level on the shot as she was coming around the crease. Most offensive players would choose to shoot high, and that's exactly where the goalie is waiting. As soon as she dropped her stick with that nice little low bouncer, that's being very aware of when and where that goalkeeper is.
See that sleeve on her left knee. That wasn't there when we started the game, Courtney. You and I both caught our breath when we saw Sam take an awkward step. That knee rippled a little. She went over. She was treated by the MedStar Health athletic trainers and good to go pretty much for her next shift, and has not been bothered by it throughout. Very good news for one of the game's best. Kayla Wood trying to kick this loose. The officials are going to award the ball to Team Apuzzo, now out in front by 4. They have control in the draw control story as well. Often in this sport, when you start to take a commanding lead, the stats lean heavily in your favor. One category after another. North going to goal. Fidgets there against Wakefield. Miller finds Huff. Huff picked up by Warden. Nice pass inside. Mastriani waltzes in. She scores. Ali Mastriani.
Kelsey Huff taking control offensively. I like the confidence that she's showing here. We see as Ali Mastriani is challenging hard to cage, all of those fakes, pulling Britt Reed off of her line. She wants to make her step to the ball so that way she can easily finish around.
You see at the bottom of the screen, every team gets 20 points for winning a quarter. Here's what makes the fourth even more important this time around. The third quarter was tied, so those 20 carry over. The fourth is now worth 40. The overall win would be worth 45. Team Apuzzo smiling with an 11-6 lead overall and a 3-zip advantage in the fourth. Folks, it's a new season. We have a new look, new merchandise. Be sure to check out all the brand new Athletes Unlimited items, including lacrosse player name and number t-shirts. Go to shopauprosports.com to purchase yours today. Fans looking on. We have seen a number of pretty passing plays today. Charlotte North and her mates are in good spirits over on the sideline. Pretty passes lead to great goals and an aspiration assist.
As we look at this assist, Geiger getting the ball into Lauren Gilbert's hand in the fast break situation. An excellent job by Katrina Geiger. She actually caused the turnover to make that a 3-3 tie for Team Johansen. Excellent job on the aspiration assist.
Here's the trouble for Johansen's squad, though. They haven't taken a shot in the fourth. For every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited lacrosse season, Aspiration planting 10 trees heading into the weekend was 590 and counting. Big thanks to Aspiration for its support. We have the last 4 points on the board. Make it 5 to Team Apuzzo's group. It was a North 2, then O'Donnell, Apuzzo, and Mastriani all back to back to back. 11-6 lead for Apuzzo, its largest on the day. Haley Warden needs to get this ball for Team Johansen in the orange. The nightcap tonight, Team Marino and Team Arsenal. Taylor and Dempsey squaring off under the lights here at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. We're about, I'd say 20 miles north of Baltimore's Inner Harbor. Temperatures when we began play today in the low 90s, had to be much higher than that on the field. It was a scorcher last weekend, and it promised to be the same as we hit the tail end of July in the Mid-Atlantic. Ali Mastriani coordinating 6-on-6 at this end of the field. From goal line to goal line, it's 75 yards. End to end, 95 yards. We play 10-on-10, 6-on-6 at the offensive end. There's a 60-second shot clock. On the move, Geyer's back in tight quarters. Makes the handoff. It gets into the cross of Kelsey Huff. Huff looking to the inside, just missing there for Mastriani. This goes back to Johansen. And now, Court, they've got some work to do. Heavy lifting with less than 4 minutes to go.
Heavy lifting as they're down by 5 goals, but if you look at what Team Apuzzo just did, they're more willing to take risks. Now that they have a little bit of a lead, they can try and thread the needle on passes just like that, but they do have to be cautious to make sure that they're not giving too many turnovers every offensive possession they have.
Sunshine poking back out from the clouds. 5-point advantage for Team Apuzzo. Levy and Warden playing the two-person game. Haley Warden, who around this time last year was graduating with a cyber intelligence grad certificate. Mira Shane makes the stop. Shane at the end of the line. Mira was 5-10 individually last year. We played 5 weekends. We played a total of 30 games in Athletes Unlimited. Season 2 shortened to 24, coming off of the busy summer of lacrosse with the World Games, the Sixes, the NCAA tournament. The event organizers electing to shrink the season to 24. We're running right up until the second week of August. Gilbert on the move. Always a goal-scoring concern. Sammy Jo Tracy, picked up by Kerrigan Miller. Sammy Jo, no shooting angle yet, but she has a way of creating her own angles for shots. Johansen may be thinking two here. She cashed in from behind that 8-meter key earlier, but that was a bad pass. Plucked out of the air by Mastriani, caused turnover, and the ground ball. That's 14 in one swoop. Mastriani closing. Distributes there for North. Took her eyes off it for a second.
Ali Mastriani, number 21 in blue. She's one of those players who has been on the field. NCAA championships, world championships.
North wheeling in, kick save there by Reed. She got it with her foot.
And now Athletes Unlimited. Britt Reed also coming off world championships, playing for Team England. An excellent save as she was stepping to that ball. That's her 9th of the day.
Britt Reed playing for Team England. Her late father grew up in England. Britt was telling us prior to this season that she actually visited England for the first time in some 7 years since her dad passed. 80 seconds left in regulation. Team Apuzzo in blue, in control. They are leading the quarter. They are leading the game. North is going there to add on, and that's window dressing for 88.
Doubling up on the score, Charlotte North has taken control. We talk about her skill quite often, the craftiness she has with her stick, the hold that it entails, that nice little face dodge, one-on-one move. She took on a very fast defensive player in Caroline Wakefield, who's done a great job on her throughout the game until her 2-point goal. And then Charlotte North, as soon as she saw space, she was going to take it. Again, very unselfish player, but if the lane is there, she was able to extend that lead yet again for Team Apuzzo, who at this point is unbeaten with her teams.
Just amazing. They won 11 of 12 quarters to Team Apuzzo last week when they wore orange. This week in blue, and roaring home now to a 12-6 lead in the final minute. They're about to close out the fourth quarter. Gives them 40, the carryover from the third. They're about to close out the game. 45 points for everybody in blue. And they will go sweeping up the Geico leaderboard. Gilbert maneuvers in, question mark shot, stopped by Shane. Mira's fourth stop of the game. There's a card coming up, a yellow time serving card for a minute. Lauren Gilbert jogging off to the sideline, the dangerous follow through, which we saw quite a bit of in the initial weekend, last weekend of the season.
You know, referees did a great job in week one, keeping defenders safe on the field, dangerous follow-throughs, dangerous propels. When a defensive player has their stance, has their positioning, you cannot follow through or shoot the ball into any specific area. And again, this is going to be 1 minute.
You've addressed it with us, Courtney. There's no shooting space or no 3-second violations in Athletes Unlimited. It's the final 15 seconds of this contest, so Team Apuzzo in blue is in no hurry, although they are playing player up. They are about to bank a 12-6 win. Team Apuzzo in action again on Saturday. They'll face Team Marino. That'll be a 4 p.m. start. You'll see that one on ESPN2. This one is in the books by the final count of 12-6.
With a commanding fourth quarter and Team Johansen going scoreless for the final 14 minutes. Tremendous job by Team Apuzzo putting together a solid win in their very first game as a team.
Chance for us to soon step away as Team Johansen commiserates. The celebration continues for Team Apuzzo. Courtney and I will return. We'll talk with the athletes in just a few moments. Get you back right after these words. Fourth quarter was quite a difference maker today. Team Apuzzo over Team Johansen, outpointing them 4-love in the fourth. So when you look at how the quarter win points go in the books, that's 80 across the board for everybody dressed in blue. Kayla Wood catching her breath on the sideline. 80 points for the quarter points, 45 more on the win. So on and on, you're going to see a lot of players in blue colors advancing up the leaderboard as this day progresses. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you in the wake of a win, a 12-6 decision for Team Apuzzo. Team Apuzzo, when they were drafting on Monday, Court, I was looking at the lineup piece by piece, and I said to myself, uh-oh, Sam's got another juggernaut-type team, and Apuzzo is rolling and showing it again on this Thursday night.
When you look at her strategy, obviously you have to think she wanted as many of her Team USA players as she could get. Charlotte North, Ali Mastriani, Lizzie Colson, and then she had some younger players out there. Sam Geyersbach, Ali Mastriani, just to name a few.
Only 2 players were back from the team that Sam Apuzzo captained last week. That was Geyersbach and Colson. They wore orange with Sam last week. In blue this week, look who's on top at 620 points. These are cumulative point totals. They'll continue throughout the weekend. Team Apuzzo and Charlotte North, they have a date with Team Marino, 4 o'clock. You could see it on ESPN2 on Saturday. We play 4 weekends. It's 3 days of doubleheaders. It's Thursday night, it's Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and we'll add it all up at the end, whether it be stat points, cumulative win points, or MVP voting points, and we get one individual champion in the Book of Unlimited.
one individual champion, and I love to hear that many of the players are already making predictions, from Sam Apuzzo to countless others. But Sam Apuzzo, at this point, she has had 4 wins, and again, she just steps up each and every game, pulling her team into one cohesive unit, and that's how they're able to win each quarter and ultimately the overall win.
Sam Apuzzo, as reliable as they come on the lacrosse field. Let's have a breakdown on this tally from earlier in the day.
Team Apuzzo in blue. When you watch Sam from behind the goal, that's where she's most comfortable. This excellent challenge as she sees the space that's in front of her, that nice little jump turn on the question mark dodge. That's challenging up strong side with her left, turning back hard to her right, looking at the space in front of her.
Sam Apuzzo joining us in the moments post-game of a 12-6 victory. Sam, when you put this roster together on Monday, what did you expect?
I expected a lot of firepower, a lot of balance. I'm really excited to play with this group. We have a lot of different people with different skills, and I think we're meshing really well together.
Sam, I talk about the question mark dodge with you, or the jump shots. I feel like they're some of your favorites, but they're so good. Well, how do you practice that over and over again and still be successful?
Yeah, it's just something that's like kind of a backyard play for me. I love doing that. It's just like a fun thing to do. Becca was playing awesome D on me, and that's kind of the only really opportunity I had. So when I kind of saw it, I took it. But definitely it was a shot that I've done 1,000 times in my backyard.
Sam, you have been working and practicing a lot against Becca Block in this season, this summer run, whether it be internationally with Team USA or in Athletes Unlimited. Do you keep a book on Becca and how to beat her?
She's so hard to read. She's such a good defender. She's always seems to be playing on me, which is good and bad. She makes me better. But yeah, she's so fun to play with because she definitely is such a great defender and hard to beat.
Sam, you scared us in that first quarter. We were happy to see you come back out on the field. What happened?
Yeah, just a little scare. I landed a little bit differently, but I feel good now, which is great.
Sam, thinking about the defensive end, we've been concentrating obviously with you at the offensive end, but defensively, how would you evaluate your group in this game?
I think we were locked down. I think our defenders did a great job of working together, especially having only 2 days to kind of mesh together, especially defensively. It's all about communication. I think we really stepped up on their top players, and it was great to see. It was so very locked down. I was really proud of them.
Sam, thanks for spending some time with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sam Apuzzo, victorious, doubling up Team Johansen today. Your Geico Defensive Player of the Game comes from Sam's starting keeper, Katie Glynn.
Katie Glynn, she is so patient in the goal. We see her holding her line right there, not jumping. That's something that she's been focused on, laser focused on the ball. That's the defensive play of the game.
Katie Glynn, who was a captain in week 1, 3 times a captain last year. Sam Apuzzo is putting in her MVP votes into that tablet as we're about to chat with Mira Shane. Mira is the co-chair of the Player Executive Committee. Mira, we see you get to work in goal today. I'm happy with a couple of split saves. Were you?
Oh, yeah, and so were the Hammies. Warmed them up right before we got out there, and so they were feeling really good. And I'm just really happy that I could get out there on the field today, support my team, and this blue team is awesome. We're going to get it all weekend long.
Mira, you have such energy on the field. Can you talk about how you bring that to the defensive unit?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my mentality, honestly, is no matter where I'm on the field, if I'm in the crease, if I'm on the sideline, I'm going to bring my best Mira Shane 110% energy. And so today, it ended up being on the sideline the first half and then in the crease in the second. And I just try to, honestly, I talk to my defense. Every single play, I'm like, ball's top right, ball's left. I got you, I'm with you. And so they know that I'm there for them and that hopefully I can come up with the save. So I'm happy to have done that a couple times today.
Mira, there are occasions when you come off the bench in game. There are a couple of instances when you come off the bench at the half. You came in at the half. What went through your mind when Sam told you were in?
Yeah, it was just like, you know what, Sammy, I got you. Let's go. I got to give a big shout out to Katie Glynn. I think she's been a #1 supporter since last season for me, just being an awesome goalie side part to our game, and so we really play as a unit, as a team. We support each other, we help each other warm up, and so today I was just like, I'm going to give you my 100% if that's just for the third quarter or for both quarters. So honored to have played today. It was a great time.
Mira, you did an excellent job in the goal, but I want to talk about before the game begins. You have some major handshakes, jumps, some fist bumping to do. Is it something different with each player? And if so, I mean, can I have one of those?
I mean, let's talk. You can definitely, we'll work on your vert. We'll get a little hop going. But with everybody, usually I just get a good hop in. I make sure that they have the right kind of energy that they want. I always say you can always skip. We can go with a little high five. But I want to make sure that I touch everybody, that they get the right energy going right before we get out on that field and put in the work.
Mira, you told me that you play for others around me. Thanks for playing today. You played well.
No problem. Thanks, y'all. Peace and love.
Mira Shane in goal in the second half, backstopping a 12-6 win for Team Apuzzo as the autograph seekers continue to make friends on the sideline. Charlotte North was out there for Team Apuzzo, cranking things up for 2.
Charlotte showing her range from deep, from that 8-meter key, and then in tight. Crafty with her stick, super deceptive, and so very powerful with her dodging capabilities.
Charlotte North saddling up with us. Charlotte, when we see you go for a quarter without a goal, we're sort of taken aback. When you are, let's say, slow to get on the score sheet, what do you tell yourself?
Just keep firing. I mean, this offense was just incredible. Sam's, a great leader on the field. She really knows how to put, 6 pieces of the puzzle together and build chemistry quickly. So I'm lucky to be on this squad, learning from them every day, and glad we got the win today and ready for Saturday.
To be able to join forces with your former collegiate assistant coach, talk about that a little bit, how exciting that is to play with her.
Oh my God, it's a dream come true. I mean, to be able to play on Team USA with her this past summer was a dream come true, and to be on her team now is, I cherish every moment I get with her out there on the field. She's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of player, leader, coach, and, just brain in the game. And, she's so talented, and I was so excited when she picked me to be on her team.
Charlotte, your shot is extraordinary. What did you do when you were growing up to try and perfect it and create the power with which you shoot?
I watched a lot of lacrosse, a lot of boys lacrosse, a lot of girls lacrosse. I watched a lot of, collegiate players and professional players. And, I took a lot from, some of the all-time greats. And, I love studying their games. I love studying outside shots. I love studying, creativity and stick work. But, I'm learning from everyone here as well. And every day I learn something new and want to try something different. So having a great time here.
Charlotte, we love watching you on the field, but we also love hearing fun stories like Amber McKenzie's sons, Storm and Bolt, maybe some new best friends.
Oh my God, they're adorable. I love hanging out with them. We were racing earlier at walkthrough, having arm wrestling competitions, so they're so much fun. I love that they're here.
Charlotte, we're seeing photos now of you chumming it up with Storm and Bolt. What's your babysitting rate? I'm just curious.
I have so much fun. I mean, we were playing with them at the hotel too afterwards. It was a good time.
Good for you. They seem to love you. And from what I'm told, they were rooting for you more than for Amber. So that's trouble. That's definitely trouble.
I don't know. I think they wanted a friendly competition out there.
Nice job today. Best of luck on Saturday and Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Charlotte North, our guest. We're stepping away. Courtney and I have more work to do. We will get you back to USA Lacrosse HQ in just a moment. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2 continuing on ESPN. Charlotte North, thing of beauty to watch her crank this 2-point shot from behind the 8-meter key. No chance for Britt Reed. Team Apuzzo wins today by the final of 12-6. And Charlotte is only 4 games into her pro career, but wow, is she something to watch. North bluffs it, fires and scores! Charlotte's here, and wow.
People want to watch Charlotte North, and they want to wear her jersey. The girl just got to say, she has it up here, and she has it physically, and what she brings to this game is just unmatched.
North with a great walking the dog move, fires and scores! How about that for handiwork from Charlotte North?
She has such a firepower behind her. There's no quit behind her.
You couldn't ask for a better teammate, honestly. She just wants the best for everybody else. The joy that it brings her is like why I think she's so good.
North bluffs it off the hitch, fires, scores! Charlotte North, another 2.
She's just an inspiration to all, I think. So I would be very pleased to be on her team, and if not, pleased to be on the opposite side of her.
She's someone that I admire on the field, off the field. She's just an incredible talent. You know, she's doing great things for the game.
Now you see young women wanting to be Charlotte North. I was at the U.S. game and like every other kid had on a Charlotte North shirt. You know, that's amazing. Like that's what we want for our sport. And you know, she's a brand. She is fabulous.
It's cool for Athletes Unlimited. It's cool for the sport, and dude, she's a killer. I'm excited for her.
Caroline Wakefield helping to lead the Mutual Admiration Society for Charlotte North. Fantastic during her collegiate days at Boston College and Court. She's played in 4 games as a pro. She's notched golds in all 4 as we expected.
She has done exactly what we thought she would do, scoring goals, even winning some draw controls. After the graduation of Sam Apuzzo, Kenzie Kent, Dempsey Arsenault from Boston College, Charlotte North took over as that leader, that goal scorer for that team, obviously leading them to a national championship in 2021. But that drive and passion for the game, as you could hear everyone else talk about, they feel it from her, and that's one of the best parts of being a teammate with her.
Sorry, I'm watching that graphic and the numbers just knock your eyes out. Do you realize in one game against Virginia Tech, she had a 10-goal game, Charlotte North. She hasn't done that yet as a pro, but she's been kind enough to wear the microphone for us today. We go into the game with Charlotte North.
I like sat on you. Sorry. That's 2. Let's go. Sam. How long has that happened for you guys? When everyone's like,
I go by Sam.
And you go by Sammy?
I go by Sammy, yeah, I guess.
Wait, you go by Sam?
I go by Sam.
But to everyone except for Acacia. Double, move it twice. Go. Ready, Al. Yes, good skip. Good skip, Kelsey. Let's go. Kelsey, that's all because of you. Good job. Let's go, Kelsey.
Cheerleader, coach, goal scorer. Charlotte North, awesome performance today. Team Apuzzo, a 12-6 winner with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN Season 2. It's Game 7 of 24. We have one more coming up for you. 7:30 Eastern over on ESPNU. Team Taylor Marino against Team Dempsey Arsenault. Court, anything stand out to you about the numbers today?
The biggest difference, obviously, in shots, 30-21. You have to shoot the ball to score goals, and then the next point, turnovers. There were a lot of turnovers for each team. However, Team Apuzzo with 15, it didn't culminate necessarily into goals for Team Johansen.
Today, that 4th quarter proved pivotal. The 4th quarter in which Sam Apuzzo's side outscored Team Johansen 4-love, running off to what turned out to be a 12-6 decision for Team Apuzzo. They play against Team Marino on Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. You can see that one on ESPN2 as we're getting set for the nightcap. Team Marino and Arsenault here at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor, final thoughts with you from this one today as we get set for that nightcap game and for the rest of the play this weekend. We do double headers, Court, Thursday nights, Saturday and Sunday afternoons.
Amazing opportunity for each of these teams to watch the game following them, look at the tendencies of what they're going to face next. So many of the players out here supporting one another, but obviously it's a matter of how quickly they can gel as a team.
Team Marino, the rookie, Team Arsenault, the grizzled veteran, if you will, often captain for her side. That's what's coming up in just a few moments' time. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati, thanks for your time. Team Apuzzo's a winner. Second game of the night starts on ESPNU at 7:30 Eastern. That's Marino and Arsenault. Today, Mira and friends dancing up a storm. 12-6 Apuzzo.